Hi, long time no see. I hope you've all been doing great. I hope you're all in fantastic health and you've been grounding. Thank you to all the new followers and all the new supporters for coming to the page and checking it out. I try and put a lot of really cool, informative stuff out there for people to look at and read over, and a lot of stuff of me just working on sandals too. So thank you for coming and supporting the page. So here we are with another video. I know it's been a while since my last one, but been a little busy. But I do have a lot of videos that I'm gonna put out in the next few months here. So some really cool topics. All right, so another way grounding affects the body. But first, what is grounding? I need to start every video from here on out with answering that little question there, because a lot of people just kind of jump in and they miss a lot of that earlier stuff that I put out, and they're just kind of like, what the fuck's going on? So I'll do that from now on. So get the basics, master those. Yeah, I like that. So grounding is the electrical process of discharging your body to the same electrical potential as the ground. This has a ton of positive, beneficial, physiological, and psychological effects. Considering your body operates on this bioelectrical basis, this is the natural electrical state of your body, which is altered by inflammation and oxidative stress, chronic insulation from the ground, high frequency electromagnetic field interference from the environment, along with other things, but those are the big ones. So one of the benefits of grounding is that any induced body voltage that you have, which you probably do have if you're not grounded, any induced body voltage that you have will drop significantly. So out of curiosity, do you think that this is going to affect the readings of some of those bioelectrical instruments that we utilize? Electromyogram, EMG, electroencephalogram, EEG, EKG. We already know that it's affecting the heart, and EKG from past videos that I've done. So this study was done to examine the effects of grounding on EMG and EEG, which, by the way, there are also magnetic ways of getting these recordings of brain activity and heart activity and nerve activity. They're actually more reliable, but they pick up on these, the moving currents in your body produce magnetic fields. That's Ampere's circuit law. So these ways of getting the measurements they're more reliable. They pick up those fields, which are called biofields, vibes. And so I wanted to mention that to kind of reiterate the fact that your body is this electrical magnetic presence. All right, but first, what are these things? What are EEG, EMG, what are they? The EEG, electroencephalogram, this detects the electrical activity of your brain. And it does this via these electrodes that are attached to your head. And these electrodes pick up on the electrical impulses that your brain cells use to communicate. And they show up as these little waves with different frequencies in the recording. And they're used in diagnosing brain disorders. The EMG, electromyogram, myo, muscle, picks up on the electrical activity of your muscles via electrodes. And these pick up on the electrical activity of the nerves in the muscle to figure out if you have nerve dysfunction or nerve to muscle dysfunction. So in this study's effect on grounding and EEG and EMG, it was a double-blind study with 58 subjects, 30 of which were controls, and they were grounded for about an hour, the ones in the grounded group. They were grounded through these adhesive patches that were connected to the bottom of their feet, which is how a lot of these subjects are grounded in these studies. So they sat in a recliner for about an hour with these conductive adhesive patches, which are connected to a grounding cord, which is connected to a grounding rod outside. So voila, grounded indoors. So what did they find? In the EEG, the instant that they were grounded, the grounded group, there was a change in the activity of the left hemisphere of the brain, but not the right, which is interesting. grounding produced a change in the electrical activity of the left frontal lobe. And these rhythms, they changed in amplitude depending on the individual. So it was subjective, but we'll get to that. So thinking about this in terms of what both sides of the brain do and what they're involved in, the right being more involved in creative, emotional, intuitive thought, and left being more involved in more analytical and rational thought. So, but in terms of the autonomic nervous system, the right is going to be more involved in that sympathetic branch of the autonomic nervous system, while the left is more involved in that parasympathetic branch of the nervous system, the rest and digest system. And we've talked a lot about the autonomic nervous system in the past with the videos that I've done on vagal tone and HRV. So if you're unfamiliar with that stuff, I suggest going to watch those videos and then coming back to this one. In the EMG recordings in the traps, which are known to correlate with stress, you're stressed out, your shoulders, your traps kind of tense up a little bit. And you should look for that when you're around people, how tense their shoulders and their traps look. Maybe intervene a little bit. Hey bro, sis, chill out. But what they found was instantaneous change in the EMG recordings of the traps. Again, it was subjective, like the EEG. And this is important to realize, that a lot of these subjects who are grounded, they're in different states. They're hyperactive, they're hypoactive in terms of muscle tension and stress levels. And kind of like in the video that I did on cortisol, everybody has different set points. And when you ground, your body adjusts to what it needs for balance. The EMG can evaluate the tone of your muscles, which is controlled by your gamma motor system, and if there's balance between both hemispheres of the brain. So what's happening here? The sympathetically dominated individuals, the really tense ones, their muscle tone is going to go down. They're going to relax. The parasympathetically dominated individuals, their muscle tension, their muscle tone is going to go up. They're going to be stimulated. That's why these recordings differ between the subjects. Everybody's different. Everybody needs different things. But the end goal here is balance, and that's what grounding does. So what can we derive from all of this? A pretty similar result to all the other studies that we've covered thus far. Right? Normalization. A shift in autonomic balance that's specific to your needs. A shift in muscle tension and muscle tone that, again, is tailored to what you need, what is optimal for you. Yeah, that's all I've got for this video. I thought this was a really cool study. And again, it just kind of reiterates the fact that grounding is a very complex mechanism in the body, and it affects the body in many different ways. And I am really happy that I get to make these videos, that I get to research all this stuff, study it, and make these videos. So thank you for watching. I hope you all have an amazing week. Till next time, I will miss you. See you later.